Hi, friends. Okay, continuing on with the chapter titled The Queen. Come down off that ledge, she said. You're going to fall backwards any moment. Sophie jumped down into the room and stood beside the Queen at the open window. Mary, the maid, stood behind them. Her hands were now planted firmly on her hips, and there was a look on her face which seemed to say, I want no part of this fiasco. I don't see any giant, the Queen said. Please wait, Sophie said. Shall I take her away now, ma'am? The maid said. Take her downstairs and give her some breakfast, the Queen said. Just then there was a rustle in the bushes beside the lake. Then out he came, 24 feet tall, wearing his black cloak with the grace of a nobleman, still carrying his long trumpet in one hand. He strode magnificently across the palace lawn toward the window. The maid screamed, "Wow!" The Queen gasped. Sophie waved. The BFG took his time. He was very dignified in his approach. When he was close to the window where the three of them were standing, he stopped and made a slow, graceful bow. His head, after he had straightened up again, was almost exactly level with the watchers at the window. Your Magister, he said, I is your humbug servant. It should be humble servant. He says humbug servant. He bowed again. Considering she was meeting a giant for the first time in her life, the Queen remained astonishingly self-composed. We are very pleased to meet you, she said. Down below, a gardener was coming across the lawn with a wheelbarrow. He caught sight of the BFG's legs over to his left. His gaze traveled slowly upwards the entire height of his enormous body. He gripped the handles of the wheelbarrow. He swayed, he tottered, then he kneeled over in the grass in a dead faint. Nobody noticed him. There's the gardener. And here we see the BFG with his trumpet in his hand. Oh, Magister, cried the BFG. Oh, Queen, oh, Monarcher, oh, Golden Sovereign, oh, ruler of straight lines, oh, Sultana, I is come here with my little friend Sophie to give you, The BFG hesitated, searching for the word. To give me what? The Queen said. Assistance, the BFG said, beaming. The Queen looked puzzled. He sometimes speaks a bit funny, Your Majesty, Sophie said. He never went to school. Truth be told, friends, Sophie should have a British accent too, because this book does take place in England, but I didn't start out with a British accent for her, so we're going to leave it that way. He never went to school. Well, then we must send him to school, the Queen said. We have some very good schools in this country. I has great secrets to tell Your Magister, the BFG said. I should be delighted to hear them, the Queen said, but not in my dressing gown. Shall you wish to get dressed, ma'am? The maid said. Have either of you had breakfast? The Queen said. Oh, could we? Cried Sophie. Oh, please. I haven't eaten a thing since yesterday. I was about to have mine, the Queen said, but Mary dropped it. The maid gulped. I imagine we have more food in the palace, the Queen said, speaking to the BFG. Perhaps you and your little friend would care to join me? Will it be repulsing snozcumbers, Magister? The BFG asked. Will it be what? The Queen said. Stinky snozcumbers, the BFG said. What is he talking about? The Queen said. It sounds like a rude word to me. She turned to the maid and said, Mary, ask them to serve breakfast for three and, I think it had better be the ballroom. That has the highest ceiling. To the BFG, she said, I'm afraid you'll have to go through the door on your hands and knees. He's too tall to get through any of the doors. I shall send someone to show you the way. The BFG reached up and lifted Sophie out of the window. You and I is leaving Her Magister alone to get dressed, he said. No, leave the little girl here with me, the Queen said. We'll have to find something for her to put on. She can't have breakfast in her nightie. The BFG returned Sophie to the bedroom. Can we have sausages, Your Majesty? Oh, I'm sorry, the BFG didn't say that, Sophie did. Can we have sausages, Your Majesty? Sophie said. And bacon and fried eggs? I think that might be managed, the Queen said, smiling. Just wait till you taste it, Sophie said to the BFG. No more snozcumbers from now on. And that is the end of the chapter. The next chapter is called The Royal Breakfast, but we are going to stop there for now because the next chapter is enough for our next reading. This one was long, so I did separate it into 2 parts, and this was definitely the shorter of the 2 parts. Sorry about that. All right, my friends, I'll see you next time when we read The Royal Breakfast, starting on page 162. So we have a little more than 60 pages left. It's going fast. I hope you're loving it. All right. Tejas had asked if we could still watch the movie, and when we get back to school, if we get back to school, we can. I think Sean told me it's on Disney Plus, and I know Mia's seen it recently. I have no way of showing you guys Disney Plus over Google Classroom. I'm sure I'm not able to do that. Plus, I think it's not allowed because there's like copyright stuff involved with the movies. So unfortunately, we can't see the movie unless we get back at school. But if you do have Disney Plus, and if you have Verizon Fios, Disney Plus is free for a year. At least it was in November, at the end of November when Nicholas and I signed up. So we have Disney Plus and we don't pay for it right now. I have never seen the movie, and I have read the book before, but I'm waiting to watch the movie until we finish the book, which will be soon enough. But if we do get back to school, I will be happy to load up Disney Plus, put it on the projector, and we'll watch it in little snippets the way that we did with Charlotte's Web and what else did we watch? Oh, Opal. Because of Winn-Dixie. I was having a brain freeze. All right, my friends, talking like crazy because I miss you like crazy. Have a really, really fantastic weekend, and I will see you next week. I miss you all. I love you all. Bye-bye.